Hi, in this video, I want to discuss 4 ways and how you can lose your citizenship here in the United States. My name is Rodrigo Canedo. I'm an immigration attorney and I do videos on different immigration topics and how to get legal status in the United States. So if that's something that interests you, feel free to subscribe to this channel. Just to clarify, I'm not talking about people who are citizens because they were born in the United States, okay? That's very different. What I'm talking about is people who submit paperwork to the government, to USCIS, all right? And usually this happens after someone has been a legal permanent resident for 3 to 5 years. Okay, so those are the people I'm talking about. Um, Okay, so the first way how one can lose their citizenship is if it's determined that they lied in their application for citizenship, or perhaps maybe they lied at their interview. Now, this is not just any lie, okay? So this is a lie that goes to the actual decision on whether they're going to grant you the citizenship, okay? So let me go through 2 examples. Let's say, for example, you lied in your application that you were never involved in any crimes, when in reality you were involved perhaps in some felony that made you ineligible for citizenship. Okay, so that could be one example. Another one could be is say you claim that you were never involved with any organizations, any groups, but in reality you were actually involved in the Communist Party, for example. Okay. So, because the United States government may consider involvement in the Communist Party to be, a dangerous group, depending on how you are involved, okay, that could be a problem for you later on if it's discovered that you just lied about that, okay? So those are some ways you can lose your legal status as a U.S. citizen if you lie in the application over something important to the decision on whether it will be granted to you. All right. Another one is if you were never eligible for citizenship to begin with. So that sounds a little bit silly, right? But in some situations, people really might think that they were eligible for citizenship when in reality they weren't. Okay. And say this is only discovered later on for some reason. Okay. So one example could be say you weren't a legal permanent resident long enough. Okay. But you thought you were. Another one could be if you weren't living in the United States long enough. All right. Typically, um, when you're doing the process after becoming a legal permanent resident, most commonly you need to be living in the United States for a certain period of time. Okay, let's just say there was a mistake and you weren't, living here long enough. Okay, so if this is discovered afterwards, this could be a reason that the government may try to take away your status as a citizen. Another one could be is say within 5 years after you become a citizen, it's discovered that you were affiliated with or you joined some type of anti-government group, or again, let's say you were involved with the Communist Party. Okay, so how could this possibly happen? It could be based on things that you publicize. Okay, again, I'm talking about within 5 years of becoming a U.S. citizen. It could be something you publicize online, something you write about, something you say, and people hear you. Okay. So if you're going to write about something or speak on a topic that might make it look that you're affiliated perhaps with some type of dangerous anti-government organization, like a terrorist group or something like that, just be really careful with that. Okay. Because this is a way legally that at least the government can try to take away your citizenship. All right. So please be careful. Another one, and one that is obviously a lot more rare, would be a situation where you're actually asked to testify before Congress, okay, over a topic related to groups that are anti-government, and you've refused to testify. Okay, so in that situation, if this occurs within 10 years of you getting your citizenship, That's another way, technically, that the government could try to take away your citizenship status. And one bonus reason is in, again, this is also rare in certain situations, if you are supposed to participate in some type of military service of the United States and you simply did not. Okay, so your failure to participate in certain service to the military of the United States, that could be another reason that the government may try to take away your citizenship. So if you don't have citizenship right now and you're thinking about applying and you don't want to, you know, face any issues later on, you don't want to make any mistakes or put yourself in any problems, I think, like I always say, it's always good to talk to an immigration attorney about, different immigration issues you might have. Um, and if you'd like to talk to me, my contact information is below. Lastly, I'll say it's not easy for the government to just take away your citizenship generally. Okay, there's a formal process that needs to take place. So just know that it's not something that should just happen automatically. Okay, if you're worried about it, but just keep some of these things in mind on how the government could technically try to take away your citizenship. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you got something out of this video.